Hi there, this is Andrew Paul Smith with day 26 of my 100 inspirational videos in 100 days. Yesterday I was talking about superheroes and how you are and we are the heroes in our own story. Today I'd like to look at a couple of quotes that I've got here, well, one quote in particular, and it's the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, and he says, "First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win." I'll read that again. Mahatma Gandhi. First they ignore you, then they ridicule you, then they fight you, and then you win. It doesn't matter what story you're reading, whether it's in a book or whether it's in a newspaper, whether you're watching a video or a DVD or you're at the cinema like I was yesterday. It doesn't really matter what story you're listening to. You are putting yourself in that story. You're taking either the leading role or one of the minor roles, but you're experiencing that story in yourself. It's almost like the story is a mirror. And that made me start thinking, well, how many different types of story are there? And it says here, I'm looking at, maybe I'll put this link at the bottom of my video, that on Wikipedia there are 7 basic plots. The first one is overcoming the monster. So have you got a monster in your life that you need to overcome? Because you are the hero. All right. And then the second story, it says of overcoming the monster, there's Dracula and there's Beowulf and Nicholas Nickleby and War of the Worlds. Those are the kind of stories that are overcoming the monster. The second type of story is rags to riches, like Cinderella or Aladdin or Great Expectations, David Copperfield, Jane Eyre. So rags to riches, are you poor financially? And you're going to do really well in the story of your life. That's me. I'm rags to riches. Watch me. All right. That's my challenge to myself when I'm asking you to keep an eye on me. And then the third basic plot is the quest. And this is where, according to Wikipedia, the protagonist and some companions set out to acquire an important object or get to a location facing many obstacles and temptations along the way. And it speaks of the Iliad and the Pilgrim's Progress and Watership Down and Wizard of Oz and Lord of the Rings. The quest. So we've had 3 so far: overcoming the monster, rags to riches, the quest. Are you on a quest? Are you the hero in the story of the quest? And then there's a 4th storyline called the voyage and return. And the protagonist goes to a strange land, and after overcoming the threats it possesses to him or her, returns with nothing but experience. Oh yes. And that's the Odyssey and Alice in Wonderland and Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, Orpheus, Brideshead Revisited and Gone with the Wind. These are all voyage and return type stories. Are you on a voyage? And when you return, are you going to have so many experiences to relate to everybody else? You know, that's possibly one of the greatest stories that you can ever be involved with, being in a place where you can help others with the experiences of your life. Is it a comedy? I love a comedy. Do you like to laugh? I certainly like to laugh. And the protagonists are destined to be in love. Oh, that's my favourite story, I think. And they're all my favourite stories, aren't they? But something is keeping them from being together, which is resolved by the end of the story. And typical comedies are Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, Twelfth Night, Bridget Jones' Diary, Sliding Doors, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. So they're all comedies. Maybe your story, I hope it isn't, but maybe your story's a tragedy. And the tragedy is where the protagonist is a villain who falls from grace and whose death is a happy ending. I hope that isn't yours, the story of your life. And the examples it gives there are of Macbeth, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Bonnie and Clyde, and Romeo and Juliet. So Julius Caesar's another one. Tragedy. That's a cue for a Bee Gees song, isn't it? And then there's another type of story. The 7th type of story is the rebirth. The protagonist is a villain or otherwise unlikable character who redeems him or herself over the course of the story. So there's an example or examples given there of Sleeping Beauty, The Frog Prince, Beauty and the Beast, The Snow Queen, A Christmas Carol, The Secret Garden, and Peer Gynt. So that's Rebirth. So there's 7 types of story, 7 basic plots: Overcoming the Monster, Rags to Riches, The Quest, Voyage and Return, Comedy, Tragedy, and Rebirth. Now, whichever one of these plots is the story of your life, there are certain sections within the story, and it talks here in Wikipedia about the meta plot. The meta plot begins with the anticipation stage. That's number 1, in which the hero is called to the adventure. And then it's followed by the dream stage, in which the adventure begins. The hero has some success, but has an illusion of invincibility. However, the anticipation and dream stage followed by the frustration stage, that's where I think I'm at, in which the hero has his first confrontation with the enemy, and the illusion of invincibility is lost. And then it worsens into the nightmare stage. Oh, wonderful. What a thing to look forward to, Andrew. It worsens into the nightmare stage. That's the 4th stage, which is the climax of the plot, where hope is apparently lost. Well, maybe that's actually where I've been for the last 8 years, this nightmare stage of wanting, of hoping, of dreaming, of anticipating, and being frustrated, not getting there, and yet... finally, yes, finally, folks, in the resolution, that's the 5th part of the story, the hero overcomes his burden against the odds. That's me. I'm overcoming. I'm going to be an overcomer. I am already an overcomer, but I'm going to finally overcome all the challenges of my life, and you are too. That's basically the story of everybody's life. We have an anticipation stage, we have a dream stage, we have a frustration stage, we have a nightmare stage, but guess what is coming? The resolution. And you, the hero of your story, are going to overcome your burden against the odds. You're gonna be that person that you always knew that you were going to be. That's the great news, that every story is the same. And the true hero of the story always says, I will do this thing even if it kills me, you know? And it doesn't kill the hero survives it, but they're absolutely determined beyond belief. As you overlook the story, as you watch the story, you think he can't possibly go through anything more than what he's gone through. And he can, and he will, and he does, and then he emerges triumphant, or she emerges triumphant. So this is my message, my inspirational message for the day. What is your story? Is it overcoming the monster? Is it rags to riches? Is it the quest? Is it the voyage and return story? Is it the comedy story? Is it the tragedy story? Or is it the rebirth story? The only thing I know about your story and mine is that we are the hero, and we will overcome the odds. We will have that which we were meant to have in this lifetime. So keep dreaming, keep believing, keep trusting, keep absolutely certain, and have a knowing that you're going to get there in the end. Every story is the same. Your story and mine are no different. So keep believing, keep smiling, and keep on keeping on. This is Andrew Paul Smith of http://www.apsmithonline.com. You can write to me at info@andrewpaulsmithonline.com. It's great to talk to you. Love and light to you. Namaste. God bless you. And I will speak to you for day 27 tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.